Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is kind of a 2-for-1 video. I am making some biscuits, but I'm also sweetening them up a little bit. So I'm going to turn them also into cinnamon rolls. And if you can hear some crunching around, Layla's having her little snack down below me. So yes, so I'm going to make some tea biscuits that I'm actually going to sweeten up a little bit. And so if you want them just to be used for like, you know, a side with soup or something, I would like cut down on the amount of sugar. But if you want to use them as a cinnamon roll, then add a little bit of sugar into it. So I'm going to get right into it now. I'll show you the ingredients and then we're just going to get making them. To make the biscuit dough, you'll need 2 cups of flour, a half a teaspoon of salt, a half a cup of shortening, 3/4 of a cup of milk, 2 tablespoons of sugar if you want a more sweeter biscuit, and 1 tablespoon of baking powder. If you don't want more of a sweeter biscuit, you can actually just leave out the sugar. So first I'm adding the flour, sugar, salt, and baking powder and giving it a good mix. Then I'm adding the shortening, which I'm cutting in with a pastry blender. You can also use 2 forks if you don't have a pastry blender. I'm doing this until the mixture is crumbly in texture. Then I'm adding the milk. And I'm going to mix it all together, and don't be afraid to get your hands dirty. So I'm mixing it all together until it forms a ball. Now I'm just taking half of the dough and rolling it out to about 1/2 inch thick. Here I rolled it a little bit too thin, and also my baking powder is a little bit older, so it didn't quite rise like it should have. So that's going on my grocery list, is more baking powder. And I'm using a glass to cut out the biscuits. And I've just placed the biscuits on a baking tray, a parchment lined baking tray, and I'm cooking in the oven, or baking in the oven, for 450 degrees for 10 minutes. Now with the other half of the dough, I'm now going to make the cinnamon rolls. I'm rolling it out to about 1/4 inch thick and into a rectangle shape. Then I'm adding about 3 tablespoons of butter melted and spreading it out over the dough. Then I'm taking the cinnamon and I'm just liberally shaking it out over the dough to cover the surface. And then taking brown sugar and I'm sprinkling that over top to cover it as well. Finally, I'm taking the end of the dough and rolling it tightly into a log and taking a sharp knife, cutting it into about 1 inch sections and placing it on a parchment lined cookie sheet. And they will also bake in the oven at 450 degrees Fahrenheit for about 10 minutes. So that is my biscuit and cinnamon roll recipe. One recipe, you're going to make 2 things. If you like this video, you can give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new. Thanks so much for watching. Stay safe and be well. And until next time, bye.